My predominant memory of CDs as a 22-year-old in 2020 is that we had an apricot tree in my backyard that squirrels and birds alike would chew all of the apricots up in, and so my dad hung our entire CD collection in the backyard in the apricot tree. And instead of the birds and the squirrels going, all right, we'll leave this apricot tree alone, they would see their own reflection in the CDs and attack the CDs. So what we ended up with was like a Christmas tree skirt of broken CD shards at the bottom of the tree in the backyard, and then many crescent moon-shaped discs hanging from the tree. And then a bunch of squirrels and birds still eating all the apricots. They got exactly what they wanted. And we ruined our CD collection. Overrated for apricot protection. Underrated if that was the medium at the forefront of the music industry for a period of time. Okay, I've never gotten to say this anywhere, but I'll say it here. When I got the TV show Glee, when I got the audition, I had never seen the show Glee, and I was jumping on the ship in the 6th season. And I thought, well, that's a lot of episodes for me to catch up on and get really current. So I think I'll just not. And I remember being on the show and the writer coming over to me and going, you're familiar with the show, right? And I was like, yes, of course. And listen, I was like on 4 episodes. I was barely on the show, really. But it ended up being like 2 months of shooting anyway. So for 4 months, I was like just asking anybody that was willing to tell me what was going on. I was like, what's going on? I was like, me being on the show Glee was like the same as when your dad, for no good reason, sits down next to you in the middle of a movie, and he's like, but why are they trying to smuggle the diamonds in there? And you're like, Dad, like, you have to go back a full 2 hours to understand this. So I'd go rated in terms of Glee's like cultural impact. It was really good for theater kids. I appreciate what they did for the sort of gay rights movement. That was exciting to me. I'm going to go overrated in terms of like whether it was actually good. It wasn't good. I mean, who are you polling, me or the United States Health Board? On a personal level, Taco Bell is underrated. On a global scale, the beans are gray, which isn't the color of beans. And every couple of years, some announcement comes out where they're like, hey, just wanted to let you know we're no longer putting high fructose corn syrup in our beans. And you're like, oh, there was high fructose corn syrup in your beans. I went to the Taco Bell headquarters recently. Flex. I was there and I said, how do you guys make the cinnamon twists? And they said, check this out. And they put a bunch of pasta in a frying pan and dipped it in oil. And all of the pasta exploded and then they poured cinnamon all over it. And that's how you know we're in the roaring 20s again, because that's just innovation at its finest. Underrated. I mean, you know what? Like, I grew up watching the Grammys every year, and my defense mechanism when I had no idea if we were going to win any or not, it's like, well, a lot of my favorite records never won Grammys. Kendrick Lamar didn't win for Damn, didn't win for To Pimp a Butterfly in the best album category. It's like, I was like, you know what, if we didn't win, we'd join a club of like my favorites. And then we won all of them, and I was like, perfect, wonderful. I didn't complain about it at all, so I'm going to continue not to complain about it. Oh, super underrated. Grammys have a bright future ahead of them. Overrated, oh my God. So overrated. It's crazy. Brain damage isn't overrated. Brain damage is serious, and we should take it seriously, and the treatment for it especially is underrated. But I think it's weird to watch like the same amount of head trauma and concussion. That it would be like watching like Shibuya Crossing in Japan, like just only cars crashing into each other. It's the same as watching the Super Bowl. It's insane. And then Shakira comes out. Overrated. That's an easy one. I was a huge Vine fan. Vine was like a incredibly important platform to me. And I'm in the video realm of platforms. I'm like not a content creator. I'm only a consumer. I just would like watch Vines for hours. The TikTok culture is so disturbing to me. There's an amount of like 14-year-old and 15-year-old guys on TikTok that have a level of self-confidence I have never achieved in my life. A lot of a lot of just like crazy smolder, and they're all like basically prepubescent or at the very least like pubescent, and there's so much swagger coming off of those guys, and maybe just because of my own insecurity, I vote TikTok overrated. Hard to rate. Let's go couples therapy, underrated. Marriage, probably overrated. But they should walk hand in hand. If they walk hand in hand, they're both rated. Extremely overrated. And I really like that show. I think Yoda's cuter than Baby Yoda. Original Yoda, old Yoda, with the hair coming out of the ears. That was a good touch on whoever designed that puppet. I think babies are cute, but I think if there's a cute old version of a thing, oftentimes just as cute as the baby version, you know? All seltzer is overrated. Seltzer is lesser than soda and also lesser than water somehow. The great tragedy of seltzer is unscrewing a regular bottle of water and taking a hefty, thirst-quenching gulp of seltzer accidentally. It's oftentimes the low point in my day. I hate seltzer, and I hate spiked seltzer because I hate people talking about it. And no one shuts up about it. Oh my God. That whole White Claw thing this past summer, Jesus Christ. So annoying. Overrated. My manager's got me this for my birthday. My birthday's at the end of July, and every year, somewhere in mid-September, they go, "We got you a birthday present." And I'm sure they've been thinking about it since my actual birthday, but it is always a month and a half late. That's fine, but it fits me, and it's made of actual gold, which is really nice. It's a font that I chose, so I'm a fan of it. If there was a person who I felt competitive with in my life or jealous of for some reason, or if somebody stole my girl and they had a ring with their name on it, I would think they were a preposterous douchebag. Does that keep me from wearing it? No, I'm still wearing it, but I'm aware of how it comes off. I'm gonna go with underrated. That being said, I have not worn it in years. There is an actor who is on the morning show who has the most phenomenal set of eyelashes I've ever seen. And I was convinced for the first episode that he was wearing eyeliner or Guyliner and that it was going to become a plot point. And then at some point later on, I just realized he just has the most beautiful eyelashes of any man. And I think if you hope to achieve a similar effect with Guyliner, you should feel free to do so. I find that I look like a dude who would have his own name on a ring on his finger if I wear Guyliner, so I abstain. But to each their own. I'm gonna go like rated on James Bond, especially since announcing that we're doing the theme for this movie, and seeing how much people care about the franchise. I'm gonna go rated because I love the franchise. I don't think it's overrated at all. I don't think it's underrated. I don't think it's like an underground thing. I think people are pretty aware of James Bond. Really, really opinionated about it. There's been a lot of like comments on Twitter of like, oh, it should be the song Supremacy by Muse from 9 years ago. It's like one of those, you like halfway through a Twitter response to a question like where you're like being educational and then you're like, this is wasting my time. Super overrated, but so is recording in a bedroom. And to me, the whole reason and the whole philosophy behind it is that you can make music anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a bedroom. We did songs in like a hotel room and on a tour bus. Oftentimes in interviews, I'm given the question of like, yeah, you guys gonna go back to the bedroom, make this next record? I'm like, I don't know, probably not. Like, it's just a room. Yeah, I think both are overrated. Recording music yourself, underrated. Thinking other people have the solution, overrated. But yeah, fancy studios, oh my God, what a huge waste of time. Every time I'm in a fancy studio, it's like the whole first hour is me going like, the mic's not picking up anything. Why isn't the mic picking up anything? Overrated. College is rated. I think college there's so many career paths that require higher education. Like, I don't necessarily want a doctor who's like, yeah, just fuck college. Didn't go to college. College for the arts, I'm gonna go with overrated because I think art is like fully subjective. And if you're like an artist of any kind, you shouldn't be relying on the judgment of teachers who feel that it's their obligation to critique your work. But college, if you want to be involved in neuroscience, probably like completely necessary. So I'm not anti-college, but I'm definitely anti like art school. Holy shit. The mall is overrated for grown people and underrated for kids. As a child, you're like by default a pedestrian at all times because you can't drive. And I think a mall is like a good example of a place that you can like navigate with your like other 12-year-old friends and hang out at and not have to drive from one place to another. But as a grown-up, so depressing. A mall is like an airport, but you can't go anywhere. I get a lot of scented candles and a lot of hand lotion just to like make my hands feel nice at Bath and Body Works. And Bath and Body Works is always in a mall. And every time I go into a mall, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Underrated. People go smell blind to their house. I think people think their house smells regular and your house just smells like you, whatever you smell like. And sometimes that smell is like below average. So I'm a big believer in scented candles. Although sometimes people, namely my girlfriend, get scented candles that I find fault with because the scented candle is like, what scent is this candle? Chocolate chip oatmeal cookie dunked in pumpkin spice latte. And it'll be like that candle. And for 4 days, I'll just not know what's going on in my house.